most of you are probably aware, 100 years ago tonight was the sinking of the Titanic.
Oh.
I wanted to read a poem about that. On a cold April night, on a Liverpool quayside, in the years just before the Great War, the crowd were in shock at the loss of Titanic, so proud they'd all been days before. Relatives gathered for news of their loved ones and to read through the lists of the dead, when into the crowd came a sad-eyed old polar bear. To the clerk at the counter, he said, "Have you got any news of the iceberg? My family were on it, you see. Have you got any news of the iceberg? They mean the whole world to me. My wife and my children were coming from Greenland to live with me here at the zoo. There's Belinda, the wife, and Bernard's the eldest. Billy, he's only 2. I know on the ship there were hundreds of people, and I know that the iceberg's not yours." The polar bear's voice held the start of his tears as he covered his face with his paws. "Have you got any news of the iceberg? My family were on it, you see. Have you got any news of the iceberg? They mean the whole world to me. It's been over a year since I last saw my family. I left home to build my career. I've worked very hard. I'm a star at the circus. It's all been for nothing, I fear. As my face on the poster, we're in town this week. My children were meeting me here." Everyone stared as he struggled to speak. His paw brushed away one more tear. "Have you got any news of the iceberg? My family were on it, you see. Have you got any news of the iceberg? They mean the whole world to me." By now, several people had gathered around him. His grief was one they could all share. The people nearby, in sorrow, in silence, listened to the sad polar bear. "I wanted my children to see me performing, and Belinda would have been proud." At last, lost for words, the tears flowing freely, the question was asked by the crowd. "Have you got any news of the iceberg? My family were on it, you see. Have you got any news of the iceberg? They mean the whole world to me." So there you have it. Les Barker.